I've been having a few friends that are trying to buy a car,
Right.
and they've been asking me for my advice. Like, what would they do what would I do if I was in their shoes? So the most common question that I get is, what's the difference, or why would they? Because if they go to, let's say, a Toyota dealership, they could probably, not everyone, but probably get a 2018 Toyota Corolla.
A brand new car.
Yeah, a brand new car for $1,500 down and $350 a month. They could probably do that. And they ask me, and then they go to another dealership, let's say something smaller like us or any other dealership that works like us, and we could offer them the same deal, just in an older car.
Same numbers.
Same numbers.
For down payment
Right.
and monthly payment.
Exactly. Good point. Not same deal, but same numbers. I can tell you, okay, $1,500 down, $350 a month. We can do that, but it's going to be 2013, 2014, something around those lines. So the question is, dude, why would I go with the older one?
Right.
Because that's all the information they have. They don't have the whole information to make a decision there, in my opinion. A smart decision.
Or maybe they don't know.
Exactly.
You might give them all the information, but they're not really gonna know.
So that's mainly what we want to talk about today. We want to explain why is that, what's the difference, and so you understand everything. Yeah. So you wanna take it? You wanna talk about it?
There are pros and cons, but the biggest difference that we were talking about it before starting to do the podcast is obviously how long are you going to be paying that $350 monthly payment? How long you going to pay that for? Okay,
that's the information they're missing.
That's the whole thing. I mean, most scenario, if you're buying a used car, you probably pay it off in 2 years, 3 years. On a new car, with that much down, which is not much actually,
right?
And such a low monthly payment, you probably gonna be paying that for 7 years or so.
Exactly, 6 or 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years. So that's a huge difference. It's a big difference to pay off a car in 2-3 years compared to paying the car in 6-7 years. That's a lot of money on interest. That's a lot of money on paying the car off in a long time.
Yeah,
that's the main difference.
Yeah, and I mean it's got pros and it's got bad things. I'd say a good thing is that you're getting into a brand new car. Okay, that's something good. It could be more reliable than a car that's been on the streets for 3 or 4 years. I'll give you that.
Right.
It's worth to pay the car, because I mean, if you're paying 7 years, you're probably paying the car at least
depending
1.5, depending on the
what
deal.
Interest you get. This actually reminds me of my cousin.
Right.
You remember we talked before that they bought a brand new Nissan Versa, brand new. Like they had, brand new. They were the first owner, and I remember I think they put 1,000 down.
Yeah, something like that.
And the payment was like 3 something. I think it was on the high 300s, probably like 390, 380. But the loan was for 72 months.
Right.
And I did the math like, dude, this is how much you're going to end up paying. The interest rate was low, 9%. But when you do the math over 72 months, that's a hell of a lot of money on interest. They were paying the car like 3 times.
Wow.
And You know, the excuse was, well, we're planning on keeping the car, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I understand. Like, if I'm on someone's shoes, and they get two offers, it doesn't make sense, but it's no, like, because you have 2 points of view. I mean, I can drive a new car. I can, it's gonna look good. I'm not gonna have to worry about anything. Hopefully, or I could be a little bit smarter and just I'm gonna be in an older car, but it's not gonna break down like that, or it could be a good car.
Now, the other point here is that, okay, the day you're buying it, you're planning on keeping the car, after you pay it off, great. But what if things change after a year or 2 years after you bought it?
7 years is a long time.
And my point here is that most likely you're not going to be at a good spot in order to trade the car in and trade it for something else. Because look, even if your interest rate's 9%, which is a lot over 72 months, the amount of principal that you have, first, you're buying a new car, which, like we spoke before, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's going to lose 10%. It's going to lose 20% over the first year. That's a lot of money that is going against you on the amount that you owe on the vehicle. You owe that money, whether the value of the car is $1,000 the next year or $2,000, whatever the value is, you still owe. You still have a loan on it that you owe the bank. So
on top of that,
if you look at how much of your payments are going on interest, I'm pretty sure it's a lot. So you're not reducing the principal too much over the first probably 2 years, man. And like I say, if things change and you really try to trade that car in, it's gonna be almost impossible, or you're gonna get beat up on the next car a lot because they're gonna transfer the negative equity. So again, we've discussed this topic over and over again. It's not a smart choice, financially.
Because I think let's say I don't know anybody that. I mean, honestly, I don't know anybody that buys a car and actually keeps it for rare. 7 years. At least pretty not rare. Here in the U.S. I do know people back in Venezuela, but I mean, they just buy the car cash and they just drive it until it's no good anymore. But I don't know anybody here that does that 7 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you really need to get into a 7-year loan? Which you're probably not going to keep it for 7 years, and at the second or third year that you finally come to your senses and realize that you want to trade it in, you know what? I do want something different. You can't trade it in. You're upside down. You're not gonna be able to trade it in, or you might be able to, but it's gonna carry on. It's gonna be tough. So I mean, honestly, I would much rather that
especially, sorry to interrupt, especially on a popular model, such as Toyota Corolla, Nissan Versa, they drop the value a lot. If it was something that maybe will hold the value over time, but these cars, the market is flooded with this type of vehicles. Everybody's competing on prices for these type of cars, and that means that the value is going down because the market is going down on the prices. It's forcing the prices, dealers to be more competitive. So I'll tell you, man, these cars are the worst to buy brand new.
Right.
Because they drop the value substantially over the first 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I think if you really wanted to get in one of those deals, if you want a new car or something like that, I'll say don't put a $1,500 down payment. I mean, if you're getting a new car, do it because you actually can. and put a big down payment and don't finance it for 7 years. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I think. And I want to keep going with the example that I set up first, which it was my friend, and I've had a few friends that have been asking me the same thing. Just honestly, and this is what I told him. I mean, I know we work at a dealership. We have the dealership, and yeah, I want to sell cars. But honestly, my recommendation was, man, honestly, like, you're just getting here. I mean, you haven't been here. You've been just here for a few months. You're getting a job. You don't really want some payments right now.
Yeah.
My recommendation for him was, don't buy a new car. Don't buy a car from me. Try to
Buy
find
something
a
cash.
cheaper car on Facebook Marketplace. Try to buy a cheap car there, and man, I mean, keep it for a
year,
time,
yeah.
just so you get comfortable, you get a stable job, you get everything, and then it will be smarter to go into payments. Yeah, that's my point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
that's the difference.
That's the difference, mainly, man. How long you gonna have that responsibility to pay that monthly payment for? It's a big difference, 2-3 years compared to 6-7 years. And also, again, you're competing. I mean, the depreciation is beating the hell up of you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's hitting you hard on a brand new car. So whatever you pay in interest, man, I mean, you're losing double probably on the value of the vehicle. So again, yeah, it's exciting getting a new car, but is it really worth it? Again, that's the same question we ask over and over again, but that's the main difference. How long you gonna be paying for?
Right. I think a good and a good thing to do when you're getting a car would be thinking about down the road, 2 years.
Yeah.
What are you going to be able to do in
Right.
2 years? I mean, maybe you're thinking about keeping it more or longer than that, but do that. When you're buying a car, if you're buying it cash, if you're buying it new, if you're buying it used, if you're buying it from your friend, whatever you're doing, try to think about the position that you're going to be in 2 years.
Right.
Doesn't take much, just a little bit of research about the same model that year,
Right.
2 years older, just finding out numbers. It's going to take you 10 minutes, honestly.
It's easy, yeah.
And that way you will see, oh, shit, on a new car or on a used car, okay, I'm going to be better. On a cash car, of course, you're just going to,
Right.
yeah, you're going to have what you're going to have. It's just the depreciation or
Right.
whatever you have to put on mechanics and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's a good recommendation.
It's a good topic, man. A lot of people, they don't know what to do. They're always looking for advice. And that's what we're here to do, help you make a smart decision. And we're always going to be honest. Look, this is what you have here. And just like you said, man, like, I mean, you could probably, like you told your friend, look, you could probably buy a brand new car for the same down payment and monthly payments, but then you're going to have the loan for 6-7 years. This one, you probably paid off in 3 years or maybe less if you're able to. So that's honesty, you know what I mean? So, but that's the reality also. So yeah, send us questions, if we don't care that you buy the car somewhere else, as long as you don't get yourself into a bad car deal. We're always willing to help and give you our honest recommendation. That's good.
And that's it for today.
Boom, bada bing, bada boom.